The HCI community is rapidly developing novel technologies for the kitchen, for restaurants, and for grocery stores that are revolutionizing the way that we experience food on a daily basis. But a key question remains: do they help us achieve a healthy diet? To help ensure that they do help us achieve a healthy diet, we developed a set of 20 food literacy heuristics that embody the knowledge, awareness, and skills required to achieve a nutritious diet. To create these heuristics, we first generated them based on key findings from the literature. We then evaluated them with nutrition experts and with HCI experts, ultimately creating a revised set of 20 food literacy heuristics. To first generate the heuristics, we consulted the nutrition literature, and in particular, this work by Azevedo, Perrier, and colleagues that performed a scoping review of key concepts for food literacy. We pulled from this paper as well as other relevant work to develop a set of concepts that we felt would be most helpful to technology designers. We then reviewed existing online grocery shopping websites, and in particular focused on features of those websites like recipes, search, filter, and information display, and to try to understand how technology was currently supporting food literacy. We then matched those two together to create an initial set of 24 food literacy heuristics, which we pilot tested with members of our lab. To understand whether or not those 24 heuristics were appropriate, we then evaluated with a set of nutrition experts. We asked 12 nutrition experts to evaluate 3 different websites: Morrison's, Walmart, or Loblaws. And during that evaluation, we collected qualitative feedback on the heuristics. We interviewed the experts about their experience as they performed the evaluations, and we collected questionnaire responses on usability, understandability, usefulness, and specificity of the heuristics. We found that the nutrition experts took about 45 minutes per website evaluation, and overall they felt that the heuristics were quite useful as both summative and formative design tools. They also pointed to many clarifications and revisions, like an expanded set of heuristics with some examples and visualizations that they thought would be particularly helpful to folks outside of the nutrition expertise. We found that throughout the study, they were able to identify many different issues with the various websites across the subsets of awareness, knowledge, and skills. We also asked them to identify the heuristics that they felt were most relevant to this kind of evaluation, and were able to generate a top 10 list of those heuristics that nutrition experts felt were most critical to designing food-related technologies. We then conducted an evaluation with HCI experts that largely mirrored our evaluation with nutrition experts. We asked 12 HCI experts to evaluate the same 3 websites. They then performed a design activity for a technology of their choice, and we collected the same types of qualitative feedback on the heuristics. Our HCI experts also felt that the heuristics were useful as both summative and formative design tools. And in particular, we found that they prompted the HCI experts to self-reflect on technology design and their own experiences with food literacy in a way that maybe wouldn't have normally occurred had they not used the heuristics. They also revealed some tensions between the way that HCI experts and public health experts might approach the design of technologies, and we discussed that later on in the paper. Our HCI experts were able to identify many of the same types of issues as our nutrition experts across all 3 of the different websites and the 3 different categories of awareness, knowledge, and skills. And finally, we were able to use the feedback from all of these different rounds of studies to generate a final set of food literacy heuristics, which again is available in the paper. So, given that our 3-stage design process created these heuristics, you might have some questions. First of all, when should you use the heuristics? Well, we feel that they're useful for a broad array of food-related technologies, including things like grocery shopping websites, restaurant menus, and meal preparation apps. They're useful as a formative design tool early in product design to foster self-reflection amongst HCI designers and their own experiences with food, But they're also useful as a summative design tool later on in the design process to identify gaps in existing products, as a bit of a checkbox or a checklist, if you'd like, to make sure that existing technologies have met all of their requirements. You might also ask how you could use these heuristics. Well, an evaluation with the full set of 20 heuristics takes about 45 minutes, based on our 2 studies. We provide both a tabular and extended graphical version of the heuristics in the paper, but if you don't want to take 45 minutes, or if you're looking at just a subset of those heuristics as being useful to your particular project, we also feel that the awareness, knowledge, and skills framework might be useful in more narrowly applying a subset of the heuristics. Or maybe you might be interested in using the top 10 for a rapid evaluation, or to focus in on the issues that nutritionists felt might be most critical. We also identified some potential questions about applications of the heuristics and the design of food-related technology. So HCI experts tended to not have an awareness of the nutrition issues that went into the thinking behind the heuristics, and they were often motivated by personal empowerment rather than the best practices from the nutrition science literature. And we feel that this underscores the need for multidisciplinary research teams and to break down barriers between public health and HCI. This is a big discussion. We don't have time for it in this video, but we do have an extended version in the paper, and we would encourage you to take a look there. Thank you very much.